Hi there. Globalization and international trade have been defining features of the world economy in recent decades. The rise in globalization has brought significant benefits to countries around the world, including increased economic growth and expanded access to new markets. However, it has also led to some negative consequences, including the displacement of workers, rising income inequality, and environmental degradation. In this discussion, which is part 2 of the series on international trade, I will discuss the meaning and effects of globalization on international trade and the challenges that policymakers face in balancing these competing interests. I will also discuss the small matter of the trade war between the United States and China, including the chip war, and Russia sanctions. In part 1, I discussed customs unions, which are exclusive country clubs. I shared 3 examples of customs unions, namely the European Union, EU, the Southern African Customs Union, SACU, and the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC. I will include a link up here to the video. In part 3, I will focus on the operational aspects of international trade, that is, international supply chains, and their importance to the realization of international linkages. Before I continue, however, do visit our website where I curate news and publications from international financial organizations and world central banks. Topics cover a wide range of financial and economic issues that affect individual countries or the world economy. For instance, COVID-19, inflation, or the war in Ukraine. Please also subscribe to this channel and be informed whenever we publish a new video. Globalization refers to the interconnectedness of the world's economies. This interconnectedness is facilitated by advances in technology, transportation, and communication, which have made it easier for people and businesses to interact with one another across borders. The result has been a growing global economy in which goods, services, and capital flow more freely across national boundaries. Globalization has brought many benefits, including increased economic growth and higher standards of living for people in many countries. It has also created many new opportunities for businesses and entrepreneurs as they are able to tap into new markets and reach new customers. International trade, which is a key aspect of globalization, refers to the exchange of goods and services between countries. It is a critical driver of economic growth and development, as it allows countries to specialize in the production of goods and services in which they have a comparative advantage, and to trade those goods and services with other countries. International trade has led to increased competition and greater efficiency in the global economy, which has contributed to lower prices and higher quality products for consumers. However, international trade can also lead to imbalances in economic power and the displacement of workers in industries that are unable to compete with lower-priced imports. In addition, globalization has led to the growth of transnational corporations that often prioritize their own interests over those of workers and the environment. As a result, the benefits of international trade are not equally distributed, and there is ongoing debate over how to balance the positive effect of trade with the need to address its negative impact. Additionally, globalization has led to rising income inequality, as some people and businesses have been able to take advantage of new opportunities and technologies, while others have been left behind. Globalization and international trade have also had significant environmental impacts. For example, increased transportation and production have led to increased emissions of greenhouse gases, which contribute to climate change. In addition, globalization has led to the exploitation of natural resources in many countries, which has had significant impacts on the environment. The US-China trade war, which started in 2018 and involved the imposition of tariffs by both countries on each other's imports, has had a significant impact on international trade and globalization. The trade dispute is one of the most complex and significant economic conflicts in recent history. It has had far-reaching consequences for both countries and the global economy. At the heart of the dispute is the unequal balance of trade between the two nations and the perception of China as a threat to American technological and economic superiority. One of the main effects has been to disrupt global supply chains and reduce trade flows between the US and China, two of the largest economies in the world. This has resulted in higher costs for businesses and consumers, as well as reduced competitiveness for industries that rely on imports and exports. The trade war has also led to increased uncertainty and volatility in financial markets as investors react to changing trade policies and the potential for further escalation. In addition, the US-China trade war has strained diplomatic relations between the two countries, leading to increased tensions and a reduction in trust. This has the potential to impact cooperation on other important issues, such as climate change and global health, and may also lead to a fragmentation of the global trading system. The trade war has had a negative impact on international trade and globalization, and has served as a reminder of the challenges and uncertainties that can arise in an interconnected and interdependent world. The recent decision by the US government to restrict China's access to advanced chip technology is a significant development in the ongoing US-China trade war. This decision is part of a broader effort by the US to limit China's access to critical technologies and to curb its technological competitiveness, particularly in the semiconductor industry, and maintain American dominance. By restricting China's access to advanced chip technology, the US aims to protect its own technological leadership and intellectual property, as well as to counter perceived security threats posed by China's growing technological capabilities. The decision is also part of a broader strategy to address imbalances in the US-China trade relationship, including concerns over intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer. However, this decision is likely to have far-reaching implications for the global technology and semiconductor industries, as well as for companies that rely on cross-border supply chains. It may result in increased costs and reduced competitiveness for companies that are unable to access the advanced technology they need to manufacture their products. It could also lead to increased tensions and further escalation in the US-China trade war, as well as a fragmentation of the global technology market. The decision to restrict China's access to advanced chip technology is a significant development in the US-China trade war and highlights the challenges that can arise in an interconnected and interdependent world, where advances in technology have increasing economic, political, and security implications. The US sanctions on Russia have had a significant impact on globalization and the threat of geo-fragmentation. The US sanctions have targeted specific individuals and entities in Russia, as well as sectors of the Russian economy, such as finance, energy, and defense. They have had the effect of limiting Russia's access to international financial markets, reducing its ability to attract foreign investment, and slowing its economic growth. However, the impact of the US sanctions goes beyond Russia and has implications for the global economy and interconnectedness of countries. The sanctions have created barriers to trade and investment, leading to increased costs and reduced competitiveness for companies that rely on cross-border supply chains. They have also contributed to increased tensions and uncertainties in financial markets and have the potential to disrupt the global trading system. The US sanctions on Russia are part of a broader trend towards protectionism and increased political and economic nationalism, which could lead to a fragmentation of the global trading system and a reduction in cross-border cooperation. This could have negative impacts on economic growth and stability, as well as on international security. US sanctions on Russia demonstrate the challenges and complexities of globalization, as well as the potential for geopolitical tensions and economic sanctions to disrupt the interconnectedness of countries and the global trading system. In summary, globalization and international trade have had a profound impact on the world economy, leading to increased interconnectivity and interdependence between countries. The growth of international trade has allowed for greater specialization and efficiency and has provided consumers with access to a wider variety of goods and services at lower prices. The challenges and uncertainties of an interconnected and interdependent world highlight the importance of finding ways to balance the benefits of trade with the need to address its negative impacts and to maintain stability in the global trading system. For a moment, even after Crimea, the world seemed united under the umbrella of globalization. But with the onset of the US-China trade conflict and the recent US sanctions on Russia, deep-running fissures have emerged on the facade, leading to disruptions to international trade and contributing to the threat of geo-fragmentation. These developments have negative impacts on economic growth and stability, as well as on international security.